Hello my fellow smug ones, I hope you're all okay. Well, it looks like the BBC is finally going to know what it feels like to have someone knocking on their door demanding money, doesn't it? Let's begin. Okay, as many of you will know, I don't have a dedicated upload schedule, so the best way to view my videos as soon as I put them online is by clicking that subscribe button and notification bell. Okay, this story is from The Express and it says bailiffs called in to recover TV licence fee cash from the BBC. Yes! At last! Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of bailiffs or their bully boy tactics, but as far as the BBC is concerned, I think it's about time. Because they seem to quite often send their TV licence goons from Capita round to people's doors demanding money. So now they'll know what it feels like to be on the receiving end, won't they? And it's about time too. The bailiffs were instructed to collect a debt from the BBC after they refused to reimburse a pensioner for a TV licence he should have had for free. And this is just so bad, isn't it? Not only because a TV licence for the BBC isn't much money at all, is it? It's £157.50, soon to be £159, don't forget that. So for the BBC, it's not that much at all. For the OAP it is, but for the BBC it isn't. And the fact that they refuse to pay it out when they should do just goes to show how much they really want to hold on to people's money, doesn't it? When Hayden Welch, who's 63, checked his 82-year-old uncle's accounts, he noticed he had been paying to watch television, despite licences being free for over 75s until August last year. Hayden Welch from Somerset wrote to the BBC's TV licensing arm requesting a refund for nearly £1,000. So it's not just 157, is it? It's £1,000. But still, for the BBC, that's not that much at all. For nearly £1,000, he overpaid in licence fees for over 7 years. But he was refused. Who the hell do the BBC think they are? They clearly owe this money to the poor man and were perfectly happy to carry on collecting it from him as well. The BBC claimed it could not help as it did not keep records of customers' date of birth. So they had no way of knowing when a customer was eligible for a free TV licence. Okay, and you can understand that. However, when they found out that he was actually 82, they should have realised that, oh, hang on, if he's been paying it for the last 7 years, that would make him 75. Surely the BBC can do maths, can't they? Especially with some of their highly intelligent presenters. But let's take you through this, BBC. 82 minus or take away, however you want to say it, 7 is 75. And oh look, BBC, that was exactly the age you had a free TV licence from. It's hardly rocket science, is it? Mr. Welch convinced his uncle's building society to refund the cash on the basis that the amount charged on a direct debit was wrong. And it was really a clever way of getting around it, and it's quite good that they've done it as well. But still upset at the BBC's attitude, and I don't blame him myself, Mr. Welch decided to issue a court summons for the interest on the debt, totalling £350. So for the BBC, that's still £1,350. They can plenty afford that, and they don't like it, which is why I'm guessing they don't want to pay. But I'm sorry, BBC. People don't like paying a TV licence, but you still expect them to pay. So now you're going to have to pay, aren't you, BBC? So unfortunately, BBC, it looks like you're not going to be able to waste that money on free water drinking courses for a few people, does it? That video is here. He explained it is offensive for the BBC to hang on to this money. It is the principle. I asked them to repay 8% of the interest on the £1,000 they had taken, but they told me the onus was on my uncle to tell them that he did not require one. And see, this is where the whole thing is wrong. The BBC expect us to automatically have to pay one, and it shouldn't be like that in this day and age. Netflix doesn't expect me to automatically pay their subscription, does it? So why in this day and age do the BBC still expect us all to pay one and to let them know that we don't need one? And even when we do let them know, they still say in 2 years' time, you're going to have to let us know again. What's the point in that? Surely if we don't need one, we don't need one. And if our viewing habits change, BBC, or we feel like wasting £157.50 and watching live TV, we'll call you up and let you know that we want one of your shiny licences, won't we? Although, to be honest with you, I can't see that happening. Especially with me. I don't think I'll ever have a TV licence again, and it feels great, to be honest with you. For them to keep an elderly man's money for 7 years and then to say it is his fault is really upsetting, and it's a disgrace in my opinion. They issued us the summons and subsequently a judgment was found in my favour. Finally, this actually gives us some hope, doesn't it? That us, the little people, can stand up to the big organisations such as the BBC. Then they ignored the judgment and failed to pay up. That's the problem with a lot of companies. They think they can just do that. They think, oh, we're big enough. We can just ignore stuff and it will go away because the people will not take it any further. But you're wrong. That's when I instructed bailiffs to recover my £350, which they did by phone. So the bailiffs didn't actually have to go to the BBC. They were refusing this guy his money, which he was legally entitled to. However, a quick phone call from the bailiffs and he got it back. Could it be because they didn't want it splashed all over the papers? It's too late for that, I'm afraid. And now it's on YouTube too. Bad luck, BBC. They prevaricated and ignored everything until ultimately bailiffs had to call them to recover the cash owed. Since August last year, 5 million people over the age of 75 had lost their right to free TV licences after a change in the law. Mr. Watch said, we still had to swallow hard in the end because now he has to start paying for his licence again. It's galling to say the least. And yes, it must be. However, hopefully it won't be for long. I cannot see the BBC's Royal Charter Protection getting renewed in 2027, although we're still a few years away from that. So hopefully they're going to get their bums in gear with the decriminalisation process. Or even just change the licence requirements to cover just the BBC. That would be perfectly fine in my opinion, because that would mean we'd be able to watch anything else we like live without paying them a single penny, and that's the way it should be in this day and age. A recent report claims 750,000 older people have refused to pay for a TV licence, and I made a video on that and you can see that just here. That equates to 117 million deficit for the BBC from April the 1st. The annual cost of the licence is to increase from £157.50 to £159. And I know £1.50 over the year is not that much. However, it's the principle. We shouldn't have to pay this money in this day and age. And 117 million, even though that sounds like a lot for all of us, for the BBC, it's not that much because they get around £3.5 billion from the TV licence fee money. So in my opinion, it was disgraceful that they didn't pay this bloke his £1,350 and it actually took a bailiff to get him his money. Last night, the BBC admitted it was forced to settle the claim. Managers blamed their failure to report a court summons on postal delays during the pandemic. Can you believe it? The BBC added it would be writing to Mr. Watch to apologise for the delays in his case. How about in your letter you also include that you won't be charging him for a year or 2 years for an extra compensation of goodwill? Unfortunately though, I can't actually see the BBC doing that, even though that is in my opinion the right thing to do. TV Licensing said we have no record for a refund application from the customer in question, which is why no refund was issued. The BBC only received details of court proceedings after a judgment had been made and does not accept legal responsibility. But the decision was taken not to pursue matters further and the case has now been resolved. Well, there's a few things wrong with that, isn't there? First of all, you're saying you had no record of a refund application, but yet Mr. Walsh took you to court and actually won. So there must have been some evidence that he actually did apply for a refund for his uncle, mustn't there, BBC? Because otherwise it would have got thrown out of court, wouldn't it? And the mere fact that you don't accept legal responsibility is a joke, isn't it? Because a judge actually decided against you, BBC, so therefore it is your legal responsibility to cough up the money, I'm afraid, whether you accept that or not. You've lost, he's won. The end. Anyway, let me know what you think. Here are some of my other videos for you to watch next. If you're a legend, click that like button down there. It really does help me out. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.